June 19th marks the day slaves in Galveston Bay, Texas were freed 2 years after Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. Now, the federal holiday is celebrated all over the country, but has a special meaning for those who live in the Northwest. People have been celebrating Juneteenth for years, but it wasn't until 2021 when President Joe Biden declared Juneteenth a federal holiday.
By making Juneteenth a federal holiday, all Americans can feel the power of this day and learn from our history.
Prior to the federal legislation, Idaho Governor Brad Little proclaimed June 19th as Juneteenth National Freedom Day in Idaho. The history of race relations in Idaho played a major role during slavery. Here in the North, according to Idaho Black Museum President Philip Thompson, Idaho was a place many slaves escaped to.
1863, Idaho was founded. 1864, a black man by the name of Lewis Walker came to Idaho and did remarkable things. Slavery was never an institution here, and there are stories of people who left where they were from as a slave, but when they arrived in Idaho territory, they were freed.
According to Thompson, Idaho was far ahead of the rest of the country when it came to desegregation of schools in 1871, no legislative segregation, and no recorded lynchings. But although Juneteenth has been around for about 150 years, some are recently learning about the holiday.
I learned about Juneteenth some time ago. When I say some time ago, maybe 10 years ago, we never talked about Juneteenth.
Alice Baber Banks is a fairly new resident of Idaho who didn't learn about Juneteenth until the age of 82. And she's not alone.
I did not know about Juneteenth until about 3 years ago. And then when I started digging and doing some research, I was like, wow, this is really important to commemorate that people for 2 years didn't know they were free.
Juneteenth not only celebrates the freedom of all slaves, but it's also a time to reflect on how far the country has come.
Being in a place that we don't have that, we're not very diverse, it doesn't bug me because I get to bring that diversity, I get to represent, but also we're growing.
According to the U.S. Census, Black people make up less than 3% of residents in Idaho. And with such a small percentage, having a strong community is vital.
Growing up in environments where you're around people of the same color, and then you come to a place that's not of the same color, so it's definitely different, definitely something that I had to get used to. But it's a lot of love out here, a lot of love, a lot of support.
There are people like me who are from Idaho, who love Idaho and want to stay here and see other people who look like me and celebrate this state, Black History Month, and everything that we've done collectively for Idaho and in Idaho.
In Boise, Jessica Davis, Idaho News 6.